going to focus on bacteria tonight, mostly because it's the data set that I found that was the most interesting. I tried to find other data sets, but this is the one that I found that I thought was the most interesting from Kaggle. I found this publicly available data set. I have a list of common bacteria. This is the first 6 rows here. That's the head function. If I got any data scientists out there, yeah. Head. The function. So it's a list of common bacteria. There's 194 different bacteria. We have the names, we have the family, we have where they're found, and we have whether or not they're harmful to humans. Okay? And that's not that interesting in a data set. Okay? It's not that interesting, but stay with me, okay? And I went with this data set. The other data sets that were out there are things like, this is a skin disease data set, and there's just pictures of a bunch of diseases, and I could have chosen that, but I decided not to. And even more disgusting than that, there's also a chicken fecal image data set. It's just hundreds of images of literal shit from chickens. No upvotes, not a lot of downloads, but it's there. It's amazing what's on the internet. So how can I make this more interesting? Well, I can get full genomes for these bacteria. So if I take a bacteria, this is a little bit of R code, I can get the full genomes. So my first idea was that let's look at what words I can spell in these genomes. But there's only a few words that I can spell with the A, C, T, and G from a genome. My first idea was to count how many times Gaga appeared in the genome and then see if Lady Gaga offered protection or if it was more likely to be harmful or helpful bacteria based on how many times Gaga appeared in the genome. But that's not that interesting, so I had to do something else, okay? So what I did was, the problem here is that the genome has only these 4 letters, so the genome's no good, but then I found out about something called the proteome, okay? So what does proteome mean? Pro meaning in favor of, teo meaning NFL linebacker who got catfished in college, and me meaning me, proteome is in favor of an NFL linebacker who got catfished in college. Linguistics is a soft science. But anyway, in the proteome, instead of having 4 letters, they have 20 letters, so we can actually find some words in the proteomes. We're missing B, J, O, U, X, and Z, but we have all the other letters. So what I did was, so that's very interesting, and what he's saying is, I don't always talk about the proteome, but when I do, I remind you that it's the collection of proteins that make life as fascinating as it is complex. Stay curious, my friends. So here's some fast facts about words with those 20 letters. In the Scrabble dictionary, I can spell there are 172,820 words in the Scrabble dictionary. 52,000 of them, about 53,000 of them are possible with the 20 letters. There's certain words that I just can't spell. These are things like microbiome, ravioli, fisher folk, cryptocurrency, moron, because I know you're gonna ask, biogeochemistries cannot be spelled. So here's what I did. I took the full proteome of each 194 bacteria. So I took each bacteria and I said, let's go get the full proteome of this. And then I searched each proteome for all the 52,000 words that were possible. And you're probably thinking, Greg, that took a long time. And I found 13,000 words, and it did take a long time. It took about 23.9 hours to run this, so almost a full day. All right? So I'm using all this advanced coding, and I'm just letting a computer run to do this with it, you know? Good use of resources. So let's look at some results. So some words that I found include phage, germ, sick. I found the word infect exactly once. It's in this bacteria right here. So I think this is kind of interesting because these are things that like the bacteria do. It's a little fun, right? That's what bacteria do. But some of you might be saying, Greg, I'm more of the guy, I'm more of the kid who, when they got to the dictionary, they looked up all the sex words and the bathroom words. So here's some other words that I found in there. I found fart 2,200 times, penis, vagina, titty, and nipple twice. So nipple happens twice. It happens once in Legionella longiviae and Serratia liquefactions. And Legionella longiviae it was named that because it was first sequenced in Long Beach. Out of curiosity, I Googled nipple in Long Beach, and I got this guy right here, and they kind of nailed it. He's a water polo player from Long Beach, and I've circled the nipples, in case anyone doesn't know. Okay. So the most common words that I get, these are the most common words: 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 letters. They're not all that interesting, and they happen with decreasing. It's harder to get longer words. That shouldn't be that surprising. The longest 6-letter word is Alaska. This happened 207 times. The longest 7-letter word is spilled. and the longest 8-letter word is lava. These are all words that are acceptable in Scrabble, so these are all real words. I didn't make these up. Now what I want to focus on is this word, is Alaska here. And Alaska occurs the most often in this bacteria right here called, I'll try to pronounce it, Sanguibacter kedii. Let's say that's how it's pronounced. And these are the instances of the word Alaska. So those are actual segments of the proteome. And the word Alaska appears 3 times in this proteome. And of all the bacteria that I looked at, this was the one that it occurred the most often in. Okay? What's interesting about this bacteria is that it's not harmful to humans, and it's found in bovine dairy products. So bovine dairy products, think about that, that's like cow's milk. But what's so ironic about this is that you can't get cow's milk in Alaska. It's 100% moose milk.
Oh my God.
If you've been to the show before, that's even funnier. Okay. You can get pictures on the internet of milking a moose. Can't get cow's milk in Alaska, that's a fact, look it up. So here are the longest, you can get some 9-letter words. This is the longest you can get. So you can't get any word, I couldn't find any word that was more than 9 letters, and the only one of these that happened more than once was parakeets. Not parakeets, parakeets. What is a parakeet, you might be asking yourself? It's this thing right here. It's like a parachute and a kite. And when you Google this comes up, and you're like, Greg, is that a mustache on it? You're goddamn right it is. The model is called the mustache, and it can be yours for 3,500 pounds if you want a parakeet. I don't know why this is, I don't know why there's a mustache on it. So here's some fun examples. I think I'll show you the first example. These are kind of fun for me. So I found the word tilapias exactly once, and it was in this is the excerpt, and it's right there. And the bacteria that it comes from is this thing right here, and it's found in marine environments. I love this so much that the only instance of tilapia, a fish, this bacteria is found in marine environments. That tickles me so much. It's not funny, I just think it's great. So I found some other examples where the bacteria you might know something about the bacteria, and a word that's associated with the bacteria is actually in the proteome. So here I'm going to show you some examples. So Bordetella pertussis, this is whooping cough. I found the word fever in there. This occurs, I think, a few times. It's either 1 or 2 times. This is cholera, and I found the word shits in cholera. Right? I think that's what cholera does, right? Yes. Makes you shit. I'm really excited that I didn't find the word shit. I found the word shits. Like that really, it's the little things that keep you going when you're my age. All right, and finally we have gonorrhea in there. And what's the nickname for the term? What's the nickname for gonorrhea? Oh wait, are you clapping because that's the answer, or because you're excited? And you can find clap twice in gonorrhea. This brings me so much joy. Do you understand? Does anyone know what the other older nickname of gonorrhea would be? Does anyone know? It's also called the drip, and that occurs twice also. A student once told me that I had drip in class because I had a suit jacket on, and I was like, that doesn't mean the same thing as it means for me. Do you understand that I found the word clap in the proteome of gonorrhea? If that doesn't bring you joy, why are you even in science? Okay, so then what I did is I had to do a little bit of statistics. So what words are the most harmful to humans? Right, so I have this variable, harmful to humans, yes or no. So what I did is I did a 2-sample t-test. It's a Welch 2-sample t-test in case you're interested in the details. I didn't pool the variance. Oh yeah, we got some stats people right here. And so I wanted to see which words were most, where were the most significant difference between harmful to humans and not harmful to humans? Which word was most predictive? And the answer is Mayan, right? So the word Mayan is the most predictive. It discriminates between which is harmful to humans and not. I get a p-value of 5.5 times 10 to the negative 5th, right? Incredibly significant. So there's 92 bacteria that are harmful to humans in this data set, and 26% of them contain Mayan in the proteome. And of the 102 bacteria that are not harmful to humans, only about 5% contain the word Mayan. That's an odds ratio of 6.85. Now, where my stat people out, is 6.85 a large odds ratio? It absolutely is. So what this means is the Mayans genetically engineered bacteria are harmful to humans, and then they left their signatures in the proteome. Science. Science. Now, some of you may say that's not significantly correct for multiple hypothesis testing, or things like the current English alphabet wasn't finalized until the 1600s, or the amino acid alphabet evolved in the late 1900s, well after the fall of the Mayans. And further assignment letters to the proteins is rather arbitrary. And finally, they couldn't possibly possess the technology to perform genetic engineering. Poetry's a dying art in life. And I want to talk about poetry now, because I'm just not going to address those questions that you had. Thank you, one person over there. Clapping for me not addressing things. So poetry is an art, and we don't really teach poetry in school or the arts. That's why I'm so glad that we've added the A to STEM, and it is now STEAM, and we have this big A right here. And I've been talking all about science this whole beginning of the book, so what I'd like to do is end with some art. I'd like to end with some poetry for you, if you'll indulge me. So I'm going to take the proteome, and I'm going to do poetry together, and I've coined the term proetry. Okay? But these are special kinds of poems. They're poems that are written about particular bacteria, and I'm only allowed to use words that can be spelled in the proteome of that bacteria. I hope you enjoy this, because I had a great time doing this. I have 3 children, by the way, and I was ignoring them doing this. Okay. This is about the plague. You've heard of the plague before, the bubonic plague. Flea and rat make ill, fever and headache and pain. Dark dead, that eerie mask. Thank you. By the way, this is what those masks used to look like, and if you look in this upper right-hand corner, there's a heart there. I didn't click that when I searched this. It was already clicked because I was trying to find one of these masks to send to my friend. I have a friend Rob. I sent him Christmas gifts that he doesn't want, and I sent him one of these for Christmas one year, but this one costs $385, and there's only 3 left, so get on. I didn't spend $400 on these, but you can buy these on Etsy. You can choose your color. Okay, and I'd like to do another poem for you, if I may. This one's a poem about gonorrhea, using only the words that are found in the proteome of gonorrhea. You're so excited about this. Okay, you should be. Oh God, ready for this? All right. Eek, my pee is fine. Is it the clap? Is it the drip? Will I die? Wish I had less sex with a redhead mime. I couldn't spell sex, but I went with that anyway. No X's. His feet are like Alaska. His heels are manna. The mime was a liar and gave me the clap. Damn hell, the pain is, I need healers. Real talk, I like feet. That's a poem about a man who has sex with a clown who's really obsessed with feet and gets gonorrhea. And you might be thinking, he can't possibly end his set with that, and you'd be wrong. I'm ending with that. That's exactly where I'm ending. What have we learned today? Linguistics is a flawed science. Plague doctor masks are expensive, and there's irrefutable evidence that the Mayans possess advanced genetic technology. Thank you, and that's the guy who called me a taker and a moron. Good Matthew.
Hand over Dr. Brent Matthews. Someone